Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. It is April 22nd. It is right at noon and I have been a busy bee this morning. As you can see, got full makeup on. I have done, let's see, I videoed and took pictures of 13 outfits for various and sundry videos, as well as, you know, I'm doing that pattern test right now and I needed to get photos of that as well. And I took a little video footage too when I talk about the pattern when it's released. Anyway, I did them all outside. It was cold, but I got it done. And then I came down here and I have filmed Friday's video for you guys. So that will be going up. It is a re-release of a pattern that I was doing a pattern test on recently. So that's an exciting one, and there's a really good deal on Friday. Make sure you do not miss Friday's video. You really are going to want to tune in. It's a really, yeah, you're going to want this one if you don't have it already. Anyway, I filmed that, and then I've also filmed the intros for the sew-along that's going to start on Sunday. I actually haven't filmed me actually doing anything on the pattern yet, but man, I had a small catastrophe. I accidentally pulled, I was setting up for filming. I have like my full lights on right now because I just finished doing some actual, like for real filming. And I was pulling the lights out with their umbrellas and totally pulled one over and shattered one of my photo bulbs all over the place. I mean, like millions of pieces everywhere on my rug that's down here, all over the, I mean, it hit the laminate flooring, and the dog of course was down here. It got into my slippers that I was wearing. I mean, it was just a horrible mess. She's actually mad at me right now because of course I scooped her up immediately after it happened and took her upstairs and stuck her in her kennel while I was cleaning up, and she was not happy to be in her kennel. And then it dawned on me, she has not been in her kennel since like March 13th because someone's always home. Even when my husband and I run to the grocery store, like the kids are home, so she's home with the kids. Someone's always here. So yeah, and if all four of us go anywhere, it's usually for a walk and we take her with us. You know, if we like walk out of the house. Anyway, she was not pleased. So she's not even sitting with me right now. She's pouting because she's a diva. But anyway, I'm trying to decide what I want to do for the rest of the day. I don't know, I kind of want to, I think I will, I don't know. I kind of don't want to film the sew-along right now today. I kind of want to wait and do that like Friday. Because we don't have school on Friday, so I can, you know, get myself somewhat made up and film all of those parts. So if that's the case, because I haven't even started on it yet, I may just delve into another one of the big four patterns. I'm going to wait and put the Pietro pants on hold until I have done a couple of these big four patterns, I think, because I really want to get those done. So yeah, if I do decide to break into the jumpsuit, the McCall's 8009 jumpsuit, today I will definitely take you with me. But I think we're about done. I think everyone's about done with their schoolwork. My daughter has a Zoom call at 2. But I'm gonna go eat some lunch, and then yeah, whatever I get up to today, which hopefully is some things, because the vlog you only get, you know, when you're seeing this tomorrow, it's only one day's worth of vlog. So hopefully I have something to share for you. Okay, I am going to stop for now. I'm gonna go eat some lunch, and then we will see what sewing shenanigans I get up to today. Alrighty. Okay guys, so I had a very exciting package arrive. That's not pills, that's parts today. This is one of my wonderful viewers, Karen, sent me, she had some overhead filming equipment used for, you know, like so you can see up close to what I'm doing, that she used from a previous time in her life that she wasn't using. And so she sent it to me, which is so very kind. There's all the different parts and pieces in here, so I'm going to have a look through tonight and see if I can figure out how to set this up. So I'm actually going to wait on, I have everything laid out here for the sew-along. I'm actually going to wait on that so that I can figure out how to set this up, and then maybe tomorrow I can work on that so you guys can see the pattern work I'm going to do up close a little bit. So thank you, Karen. I can't wait. I'm going to have a look-see at all the different parts and pieces here and see if I can figure out how to set this up. It's all very exciting. Oh, the channel's getting so grown up. Hey guys, I was coming on here real quick because I don't know how much more I'm going to film today, but this was the pattern I was talking about that I think I'm going to do next, which is 8009. Again, I'm just going to take a little bit of a break because I think I'm really going to dig into those Pietra pants when all is said and done. But this is the fabric, and I showed you this in my plans video. This is the fabric that I'm going to use, and I'm not sure, I'm definitely going to show you how to do a full bust adjustment. It's got that fitted midriff piece, and then gathers, so there's no darts, which gathers are fine. That's another way to do the bust shaping. So yeah, I'm just gonna, on the daily vlog, kind of show you, I'm not gonna do a sew along for it, I'm just gonna kind of show you my adjustments and that kind of thing. May even show you the bodice muslin that I'm gonna make. And I'm not sure, there is lining that is required on here. I'm gonna lose my battery here in a second. But I'm not sure if the bodice is fully lined. I would like to fully line it though, because I'm gonna make it sleeveless. I think I'm gonna do this view. I talked about doing the shorts, but I think I'm gonna do the pants. Because I think that'll look nicer with this larger scale print. So if it is not fully lined, the bodice, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going to stop talking for right now. My battery's going to die. But if I don't get this tonight, I will definitely start working on this tomorrow or maybe Friday, depending on how much of the sew along I actually get done. But I've got my new filming equipment. I'm so excited to use that for the sew along. So hopefully you can notice a difference in the professionalism of my next sew along. Okay, I'm gonna love you and leave you right now. I will definitely come back on to say goodnight if I don't come back to show you any more sewing today. Okay. All right, I'm trying my new camera setup. This is very exciting. All right, so this is the pattern that I am making right here. And it's got darts that do the bust shaping, and then there's a midriff panel, and then there's gathering of the pants or shorts into the midriff panel. So what I'm gonna do is make the adjustments that I know I'm gonna need to make, but I am gonna make a muslin because I want to adjust the shoulders on a muslin. Alternatively, if you think there's just small tweaks that you want to do, you could, because I'm going to fully line the bodice of this. Although I think this calls for a fully lined bodice. But it also had an armband facing, so I'm going to finish this the way that I would normally finish a lining on a bodice. And that's, you can do this on any pattern. So any bodice pattern, if you want to forego facings and that kind of thing, you literally just cut out a second bodice in lining fabric, and then I'll show you how to attach all of that at the end. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave my back piece alone. I'm making the size 14 because that seems to fit me the best in the upper chest shoulder area. But I'm going to leave the back alone for now. I will go around and cut this out completely, and I'll cut out the size 14. Basically what I'm messing around with are the front bodice and the midriff piece. My other pieces are the front and the back pant leg. I have right now just taken out 2 inches out of each because I know I'm going to have to take some length out, and 2 inches will take, I'll probably have to take it up more, but it's pretty straight down here at the bottom, so if I need to chop another inch or 2 off, I can just do that from the bottom. I'm also not sure what shoes I want to wear with this, so I want to get it made up. So I've just taken 2 inches out of the leg. We'll leave the back bodice alone for now. Okay, and now I'm going to show you the lines that I have drawn so far on this piece. So this crosshair here on the pattern is your bust apex. I held this up to my body, and my bust apex is about 1 inch in. So I made my bust apex 1 inch in. And what I did is I just drew a line that is parallel to the grain line from the base of the pattern all the way up. It's just a good reference line. And then I've drawn a line straight through the apex, so this crosshair here, to the side seam. And then I've drawn a line from this apex up to the notch, the armhole notch. And I've also marked down the seam allowance, which is 5/8 of an inch. Here, let me put a piece of white paper under here so you can see better. Okay, so those are the 3 lines that I've drawn. You technically don't need to draw all the way up, I just wanted to. It just makes it easier for reference. So this doesn't have darts, this bodice doesn't, but it's got gathers here at the bottom and gathers here at the shoulder. So we're going to add a dart and then close the dart out by basically just spreading it where the gathers would be. And I'm going to put all of my excess down here at the bottom. I'm not going to mess with putting any excess up here at the top because I don't like my shoulders gathers to be too bulky. So first things first, I'm going to cut from here to the apex, and then I'm going to cut all the way up here, stop, and then cut down. So I'm going to create a hinge here at this mark, at the armhole, at the seam allowance, and then I'll cut from the outside to the apex, but leave a hinge mark there. So, cut all the way up to the armhole, and I'll cut down through the seam allowance, so I've got a hinge there, and then I'm going to leave a hinge very carefully right there. Okay, let's talk about how much I'm going to add for a full bust adjustment. So I have my finished measurements markings right here. This has a finished bust measurement of 39.5 inches. My bust right now, it can vary. It can vary about an inch, but right now it's at 40 inches, and I would like 2 inches of ease. So I'm going to add 2.5 inches. No, is that right? Yes. I would like 2 inches of ease, so I would like my bust to be 42 inches because my bust is 40. So I'm going to add 2.5 inches of a full bust adjustment across the entire front of the pattern, which means I just need to add 1.25 inches here because it'll be 1.25 inches on the right side, 1.25 inches on the left side, which makes 2 inches total. So what I do now is very carefully, everything should play nicely. Hinge this all out. And I'm going to use my ruler here. You could also, you know, kind of push this out of the way, draw a line that's 1.25 inches, and then line it up that way if you want to. Okay, I'm just going to tape this area right here. So I'm just basically taping it to the pattern paper because, and actually I should have done this before I started to have a reference line. I'm going to put that all back. And I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to extend my grain line. Extend my grain line. So I'm going to cut a line parallel or perpendicular to that. And I go all the way across because it makes a good reference. Okay, now we can swing this down. You just want everything to lay nice and flat. Okay. And then we're going to tape just this left-hand side down. And that includes the dart. It just is better if you have everything taped down nice and neat. Okay, but I'm not taping, I still have this free down here because now I'm going to cut this off. And draw my reference line back in, which is why you want the reference line. And then I'm matching up the grain line as well as this line here. So now we can tape those down. Okay, now I really quickly want to point out before we close the start. So we have added 1.25 inches of width right here to this part of the pattern. Now, I want to keep my gathers the same, and I do need this extra width in my waist as well. Once I get past my waist back down to my hips, I'm good to go. I need the 14. It's really just right here that I need just a little bit of that extra, and it's just in the front. I need a 14 in the back and everything else. And I may have to do a petite adjustment. That's another reason I'm doing a muslin instead of just making the lining. But that is, did I say that already? That is something you can do. You can just make the lining of your bodice and then tweak that for fit and then cut out the main fabric. That way you're only out your lining fabric. I'm gonna quickly connect the dots here. Okay, so I've added 1.25 inches here. We also have added a dart. We don't want the dart, and we're gonna get rid of the dart here in just a second. But before we go any further, this midriff piece here, I've made some across basically here. So this is actually parallel to the grain line, which is the center front fold, and then this is parallel to that. This is going to be a reference line. I want to add that 1.25 inches here too. So that will give me 2.5 inches across my waist as well, which I also need for my body. So just like on the front, we just need 1.25 inches, because 1.25 inches across both will give us our two and a half total. So I'm just going to draw 2 parallel lines that are 1.25 inches apart. And I'm going to tape one side. And I need to, so this crosshatch here was my reference point, so I'm going to mark it on this new piece. And then I can match this side up. Like that. Because you'll probably want, you know, this is scooping down, so you're probably gonna need to, you know, split the difference or whatever to make a good looking line, actually. Let me just use this guy here. And then down here, true that up as well. And there's my size 14 notch. You want to make sure you keep all your notches in there. So now we're done with this midriff piece. And the reason that we don't have to do anything to the pants, because these do connect to the pants, is because the pants gather into this piece. So basically you'll just be gathering less material into this midriff piece. You'll still be gathering, but it'll just be a little bit less. So this actually makes this a perfect pattern if you need to adjust the waist and the pants, but you don't want to mess with doing anything to the skirt and or pants. So there, that's completely altered. And again, when I'm gathering the pants in, I just won't be gathering as much material in between the notches. So that piece is done. Okay, let's get back to our front bodice. So this is what we look like right now, which is your typical full bust adjustment. But now we want to get rid of this dart. So my apex has moved, as you can tell, with a full bust adjustment, which is what it does. So I'm actually gonna go Draw a line right through the middle of that dart. And then this was 1 1/4 inches, so it'd be 5/8 of an inch would be half of that. So there's my new apex. Okay, so now I want to pivot out. Actually need to go all the way to the bottom. Pivot out my dart. So pick one of the dart legs, and you can draw a line from one of the dart legs to your new apex, because we're taking it out further. So I'm going to cut from the outside to the new apex, and then I'm going to cut right in between that fullness that we added. Don't cut through it. So now we have another hinge joint that's right there. So I'm just literally going to close that. And some of your tissue paper will be, you know, sucked up underneath. This is fine. It's all gonna work out fine. Things get moved and switched and all that. So now, I'm gonna cut some of this off. Stick this behind this dart that we have now created at the waist. But we're not gonna sew it as a dart. We'll just have more gathers that are gonna get gathered into that midriff band. And then we just want to true up the bottom here, because again, these are all just going to get gathered in. So just kind of continue that curve. And then we can cut out our piece. And I'm cutting out on the size 14 line. Like I said, I probably am going to have to do a narrow shoulder adjustment. I very well may have to also do a petite adjustment. I'm not sure. I want to make another note. If you're doing a full bust adjustment like I am, and you've got like a really almost a jagged armhole here, even if you're putting a sleeve in, scoop it out. It's going to sit really weird. And that's just going to be my new armhole, even if I have to do a narrow shoulder adjustment later. Too much excess paper. So there you go. So now we will just gather between the circles, so that will all get gathered in to match up with these circles here on that midriff panel on both sides. And that should give you all the fullness that you need right where you need it at the bust. So now I'm going to take these three pieces. I'm going to take my front, my back, and my midriff. This midriff panel is only in the front part of the jumpsuit. And I'm going to cut them out of some muslin fabric. I probably won't do that till tomorrow, just because it's getting a little bit late. But that's how I'm making the adjustments on this. So I may have to go in and do a narrow shoulder adjustment. I might have to do a petite adjustment, but I want to make up the muslin first, because those are both adjustments that need to be made best flat pattern. They're not easy tweaks to make once something's been made up. So yeah, so that is that. I'm enjoying my new camera setup. This is very lovely. I will, I'll come back and talk to you a little bit, but I am going to cut out this back piece and I will cut the muslin out tomorrow. Alrighty. Okay, so there we have it. I've got my smaller lens back on. Look at this beautiful fabric. This is for my sew-along dress that I will get to here soon, but I'm going to do this M8009 real quick, just because that's what I'm in the mood to do. And I was also waiting on this equipment to arrive, but now that it's here, yeah, we can get started on that here really soon. I also need to determine if I need to line this. I'm really hoping I don't. I'm making a few, I mean, it's a cotton voile, and I can see through it if I put it up to my face, but it's pretty dark. And I feel like when it's up against skin, you can't really see through it. And my mom's cotton lawn dress that I was kind of wanting to copy, it wasn't lined. So I'm going to play around with that and see if I can make it work. But yeah, I hope that those adjustments made sense. I will make up a muslin tomorrow and I'll show it to you guys. And then I'll show you what other adjustments I'm going to make to the pattern, whether that be, I don't know if I'll need a petite adjustment or not, or if I'm going to need, I'm probably going to need to take the shoulders in. It's just with all that gathering, it's impossible to tell flat pattern, or harder to tell flat pattern. So I'm going to do that, making my arm tired. So I'm going to do that after the muslin. I'm going to let the muslin tell me how much that needs to come in. So yeah, I'll show that to you guys tomorrow when I'm working on that. Actually, I may push the sew-along off until Friday, because I will wash my hair again on Friday and then I can have like makeup on. That's what my life revolves around now. When am I going to have clean hair? Anyway, it'll be up on Sunday and it will be all the pattern adjustments and muzzling. So I just made that an adjective or a verb. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for tonight. I've done a lot of filming today. I got my new SD cards. I think I forgot to mention that. My SD cards came yesterday, so no worries of corrupt files now. I threw the old one away, so it won't be wreaking havoc anymore. I had a lot of comments on my time lapse that I figured I had to do with the camera. Yeah, that was way too fast. I need to amp that down a little. I was dying laughing when I was editing that, though. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know if today's going to be short or not, since I just did a little impromptu tutorial on how I do my flat pattern making on the M8009. But anyway, I hope you guys had a wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you, let's see, tomorrow for a fun video. I've got a pattern test that's being revealed, the re-release of a pattern, and there's a fun deal that's going along with that, so you definitely want to check in Friday. And I'll see you again Saturday with the daily vlog. Okay, hope you guys are having a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!